What's up, my new fun day? Here's the next update from the trip around the world. Okay, yeah, so there's no way I was going to do that entire update sitting like that. So, we are currently in Jordan, and how cool is this? This is Aquafina in Jordan, what it looks like. So when we last spoke, we were leaving Hargeisa, headed to Nairobi. So, while we were in Nairobi, what did we do? We did find others and bravely be better. So for Find Others, what did we do? Well, we found others. We spent the day with IDEO.org and Sanergy. And IDEO.org, you guys are very familiar with them. They did the rebrand, they've done work with us for Asili and a bunch of other things, the gala. So IDEO is really great. And we met with a woman named Nancy Down, and Nancy so generously took her time to walk us through a couple of her favorite projects that she had done, showed us the behind the scenes, how it works, and then also showed us their beautiful office. It's a really cool, it's like a creative hub of all these different IDEOs, just a part of it. So that was, we spent that time with IDEO. Then the next thing we did was met with Sanergy, and Sanergy is really cool. What Sanergy does is they go into the lower income parts of Nairobi, putting in these dry latrines, or they build this latrine and then offer their services to remove the waste and then totally treat the waste. And then they have a whole project where they're taking the waste and they're turning it into fertilizer, they are turning it into food for like pigs, chickens, all of that kind of stuff, livestock. And yeah, and so they're really actually amazing what they're doing. The other thing that really stuck out to us was we had just come from a presentation by Daniel, which I'll touch on in a second. Their whole thing was very abundance focused and very just like positive, and the thing that they kept talking about was treating these people as customers rather than beneficiaries, right? So that was really cool to see that other people are kind of like all about that right now. Lastly, this brings us to Bravely Be Better. And so for Bravely Be Better, we gathered all of the Nairobi staff together in a conference room, showed a big presentation about the future of Alight. Daniel kind of walked through the values, the brand promise, everything like that. Oh, and then also we had a dinner the previous night with Daniel and the team, and so ask Daniel to tell you about his skydiving story because that's very good. So next, after finishing our time in Nairobi, we got on a series of planes to head to Jordan. And so after a couple of plane rides, finally we arrived in Jordan and we see the city, and literally this city is so beautiful. So now we're in Jordan. The focus is on Be Human Centered. And so for Be Human Centered, we did a series of empathy interviews with Syrian refugees who have now been resettled to Jordan. And we did this through a guy named Mohammed. He used to work for Quesco. He now has his own organization called Blue Umbrella. Mohammed was amazing. He helped us get visas all sorted and everything. The guy worked his tush off. We hadn't personally even met him, and he was just so kind. So really, honestly, to Mohammed, thank you so much. That's incredible. We were able to sit down and share a meal with, we broke into two groups, and we each met with two families. And we were sit down and shared a meal and just discuss their experience and, you know, what is your hope for the future, and how are things going now? Tell us about everything, really. And I'd never done anything quite like that before, so it was really fascinating to sit down and learn from these people, and they were so generous with us and open. And then after that, we hopped on a bus and headed to Wadi Rum. Wadi Rum is this like amazing desert. It's like being in Tatooine from Star Wars. It's so freaking dope. Yeah, it's so cool. I really loved Wadi Rum. And then we also did Petra. If you're an Indiana Jones fan like me, this is a dream come true. Petra was great. Saw lots of camels. So next we headed back to Amman to see Quesco. And Quesco has been really cool because for a lot of reasons. But one, we've been working with a woman named Wala, and she has been so kind and generous and patient, and we had to move a lot of things around a couple different times, and she's just been really awesome throughout the whole thing. So I want to give her a shout out there. But we got to meet their team, and Tamer was our driver. He is so great. You're a sweetheart, Tamer. And then Wala, and then the rest of the team, and they walked us through kind of their start, how they are doing non-formal education, because there's all these weird laws in Jordan about, I shouldn't say weird laws, there's all these laws in Jordan about if you have a certain amount of time that you haven't gone to school, then you can't like return, which is odd. They then come in and help people get non-formal education through a couple different ways, so that they can go and pursue college and vocational school and all of these things. And so we got to spend the day in a classroom, and it was so fun. The girls were like just totally awesome, and a girl read us a poem that she wrote. A girl showed us she wants to be like a designer. Amazing to get to see the impact that Questscope is having. I can tell, I was only in one classroom, but like the teachers are super passionate and just like a stellar crew there. Oh, and okay, I gotta show this story. There was a little girl who after we like hung out the whole time and talked, and after she left, we were all talking and kind of, downloading on what had happened, and then she runs back in and gives me this little bear keychain, and then just dips. Like before I could even be like, oh no, that's fine. She just like does it, it's like, ah, and then runs away. Anyways, that was, my heart was like, oh, that's so nice. That's kind of the update of how things are going so far. It has been really awesome. We had a couple bumps in the road. We're actually not going to be going to Thailand anymore. We're going to be going to Rwanda now. Bernard has so generously agreed to host us. We're talking to you about the itinerary, and it's looking pretty amazing. So really looking forward to updating you on all of that come next Monday. And then what else? Oh, so the other thing I wanted to say is that this is probably getting a bit long, but I'll try to condense it. The thing I want to leave you with is that on this trip, I think the coolest thing, one of the coolest things that I'm now starting to think about the organization and everyone, like ARC, Alight, or whatever, and Questscope, is that like so many people that we have in our universe are literally amazing, and like Mohammed, who's helping us, Wala, who's never met us, and we're just surrounded by all these kind of incredible humanitarians. And so I guess I just wanted to leave you with, I think sometimes it's easy to, especially when it's just like day to day and whatever, and we're so surrounded by it all the time because we get to see we get to experience these cool people all the time. But I think I just want to remind, a little like reminder thing or something to really take a look and see how amazing the people that we work with are, and the people that we just get the opportunity to meet in this work that we do, right? So that's kind of what I'll leave you with as like the little centering thing that I've kind of experienced throughout this whole trip, is just like people have been and are so incredible. Just take a moment to enjoy the people who are around you and how actually awesome they are. Alright, that's a little cheesy, but I really do think it. So I'll leave you with that. Let's edit this baby, and then I could go to bed.